Peace, everyone. Welcome to another Trauma Tip Tuesday. I am Nazia, and this week's topic is when the wound is ready, the triggers will appear. Now, in stripping away the doom and gloom from our healing journey, we must tackle one of the biggest obstacles to our healing, and that is triggers. Triggers can appear in the form of words you hear, things you see, and thoughts that you may have. Many of us fight so hard to avoid triggers because we don't like how they make us feel. We actually tell people, listen, this triggers me, so don't do that, instead of actually dealing with why we are being triggered to begin with. Living a life trying to avoid that can be rather suffocating. It's like being a walking time bomb or yet a walking minefield. Anything can make a grenade go off within us at any given moment. How about we change our view of triggers as a sign that energy needs to pass through us? Because we all know emotion is energy in motion, right? A lot of us have trauma and triggers that we experience that are formed from what our subconscious has picked up. You see a red car that reminds you of your ex and all of a sudden you tense up. What if this is just a blocked energy that needs to be addressed and passed through? Would you be willing to hold space for yourself with compassion and without judgment? Holding space for yourself is about being present and emotionally available for you. So often we are more than willing to do this for others, but not ourselves. Noticing your emotions can make them more manageable, and holding space for you can look like sitting in silence, lying down with your eyes closed, allowing the energy to flow through and out. Deep conscious breathing and no judgment. Be grateful to your consciousness for letting you know what needs your attention. Lean into it and hold the space that you need and deserve for yourself until it passes. And just about everyone has some emotional triggers, although they may look different from person to person. Triggers stem from reminders of unwanted memories, uncomfortable topics, another person's words or actions, even your own behavior. Now you may ask, how can we identify our triggers, Nazia? Well, I'm glad you asked. Firstly, begin listening to your mind and body. Now this requires you to slow down a bit. To recognize your triggers involves paying close attention when situations generate a strong emotional response. You may also experience some physical symptoms like a pounding or racing heart, an upset stomach, shakiness or dizziness, even sweaty palms. Next, take a step back. When you notice certain signs, stop to consider what just happened and the response that it activated. Say you spent all afternoon deep cleaning and rearranging your living room. And when your partner gets home, they go straight to the kitchen to get a snack and then sit on the couch without ever saying a word. Now, by now, you're disappointed that your hard work went unacknowledged, and that frustrates the hell out of you. Your heart begins to pound, your jaws clench down. It takes everything in you not to snap and say something like, "Notice anything different?" with your Vanna White hands. Pay close attention to things like that. Then trace the roots. Try following these feelings back to their origin by thinking back on other situations that made you feel what you're currently feeling. Maybe it suddenly seemed as if you were a teenager again. You were magically transported back to that time in your life when you felt like nothing you did was good enough. Now breathe. And lastly, get curious. Sometimes the connection isn't quite as clear, so you may need to do a little bit more digging. When strong emotions come up, don't try to ignore them or hold them back. Instead, approach them with curiosity to get more insight on what may have triggered them to begin with. That's all I have for you tonight. Remember, grow through every single experience, because if there's anything that we've learned from our trials and our tests, is that we will get through it. Have a good evening. Peace.